Uh, this is very odd, Keith. Okay, so when were you aware that your son had a disability? We were aware prior to birth, about 35 weeks. We knew something was going on. We knew that he had stopped growing, his stomach was very small, and that he had mild hydrocephalus. But once he was born, he seemed pretty stable. But about 6.5 months in, we noticed his development, physical development, was not going along as it should be. So that then came the testing and all that. So, but prior we were aware, when he was born, that there might be some disability. Just was not sure exactly what that disability would entail. The nature of Max's disabilities is he has cerebral palsy, mild hydrocephalus, along with sensory processing disorder. The cerebral palsy is what they call, it's a rare form of hypotonic, which affects about 10% only of the cerebral palsy population. So it's hypotonic with a little bit of ataxia, which sometimes they fall kind of in the same category, which means he has low muscle tone and he is quadro, meaning all his limbs are affected with that low muscle tone along with extremely loose joints. The mild hydrocephalus, at this point we're just watching it, means he has slightly some extra fluid in his ventricles on his brain. We have not done anything at this time. Like I said, we are just watching it. And then the sensory processing disorder, kind of all his senses are affected. He's highly sensitive to sounds, but then to touch he is hypotonic, once again, meaning he craves the touch and kind of needs the touch. Visually, he gets overstimulated too. So those are some of the things with his sensory processing disorder. How have your son's special needs affected your family? Wow, how hasn't it affected our family? I mean, as a whole, it's just affected our whole dynamics. I resigned from my position to stay home and dedicate myself to Max and his therapies and all, I mean, just even doctors and all that. So that's definitely, now I'm a stay-at-home mom. So that has affected us. And of course, financially, it affects us very much since we do not have that secondary income. Plus, we have therapies and doctor's appointments and more medical expenses, even though we're blessed with good insurance. But still, it adds up. So it's really affected our family that way. But I think it's also affected us in the dynamics that we're just more flexible than we used to be, and kind of just as a family, just go with the flow a little bit more than we used to. Ooh, advice. Question number 4, advice that I have to offer you. Wow, that's a hard one. I think what you probably already know, and teachers always say it, that every child is individual, and they need to be treated as such. I would advise that you listen to the parents. In most cases, I mean, parents are going to know their child best. So if the parents are telling you something or asking for something, it's because of a reason that they really are the ones who spend the most time with the child, with their child. So listen to the parents. Really make sure they're part of the process as much as you can, and communicate as honestly and openly as you can with the parents. Wow, what have you learned by having a child with special needs? It goes back kind of like the other one. What haven't I learned? I think every day I learn something new from Max, definitely. Um, as I say, I think patience, that's something I really didn't have before. Flexibility, which I think me and John both have learned, just to be more flexible in life and go with the flow. We've learned also, I guess not just to be flexible within our own family, but as we look at others, we've always, I think, been pretty good about not judging others, but we're trying not to. We're only human. But I think even now, more so, not judging others. And we don't know what that family's going through, or what that child's going through, or even that person. So we've learned a lot about that. So definitely, like I said, patience, flexibility, I guess, in our views. Definitely. Like I said, every day is a learning experience.